Hello everyone, welcome to Oestrus Synchronisation in cattle. First, a public service announcement. How to identify if your cow has mad cow disease. If your cow sounds like this, then fire up the barbecue. But if it sounds like this, might we suggest the fish? But what do we mean by Oestrus synchronization? What are we trying to achieve? Ultimately, this is a management tool in where we attempt to try and get all cows or heifers in a group to display oestrus at the same time, roughly here or there. Therefore, we need at least two animals because we can't synchronize one animal to itself. There are many methods of oestrus synchronization, with new ones being developed all the time. However, the main ones are the double prostaglandin protocol, the off-sync protocol, and the use of seeders with or without GnRH or prostaglandin. In this lecture, we shall look at the first two, double prostaglandin and off-sync. To assist us in our task, please meet Bessie, Gladys, and Mary, all cows in different stages of their oestrus cycles. Well, first we start with the double prostaglandin method, which is prostaglandin F2 alpha 11 days apart. We look at our first cow, Bessie. Our intervention A is on her day 3, and that is within the refractory period. So when we give prostaglandin F2 alpha, there will be no response. The corpus luteum will not respond. So subsequently, she will just continue. So on intervention day B, she will have moved from day 3 plus 11 days, and she'll be at day 14 of her cycle. She will have a nice dominant follicle, and she will have a nice corpus luteum, which is responsive. When we give the prostaglandin, she will undergo luteolysis, and the progesterone will drop, GnRH will kick off, LH will kick off, and we will have heat and ovulation within about 3 to 4 days or so. Okay. Gladys is on her day 9. When we give prostaglandin, we will have luteolysis. Again, we will get progesterone drop. We will have the dominant follicle be ovulated. So the heat and the ovulation occur roughly 3 to 4 days. Because it takes 3 to 4 days for that to happen, that means that we're basically taking 3 days for a new cycle to start. So when we come back on intervention day B, that is equivalent, it'll have taken 3 days. So 11 days after A would be now 11 minus those 3 days, which is day 8. So it's day 8 of the new cycle. We'll be given prostaglandin. And as you can see here, progesterone again, we get luteolysis, progesterone will drop. And again, we will have heat in about 3 days, ovulation maybe about 4 days. Okay. Mary is on her day 19. She has already undergone natural luteolysis. All right, so nothing we do is going to stop her from ovulating that dominant follicle. Okay, because she's on day 19, it's imminent. She will go take 2 days to ovulate. So therefore, 2 days to restart her cycle, to start the next day, to get to day 0 of the second cycle. Okay, so when we come at day 11, it's 9 days into the new cycle, 11 minus those 2 days. So again, we have a dominant follicle, we have corpus luteum, which is responsive, we give PGF2 alpha, and we have luteolysis, heat, ovulation in about 3 days. So as you can see, all of these animals will come into heat roughly around 3-4 days thereabouts, and they'll be synchronized to each other. The second methodology is the off-sync protocol. Day 0 GnRH, day 7 PGF2 alpha, and day 9 GnRH again, right? We can stop at that PGF2 alpha injection because synchronization would have occurred. However, because of the different stages of the dominant follicles and of the corpus luteum, that synchronization isn't particularly tight. It may be go over a period of about 2 days from first cow to the last cow. However, if we give that second shot of GnRH, what will happen is we further tighten the window because we are basically eliciting an LH surge and therefore getting ovulation in a much tighter time. That is why time there is facilitated, because after the second GnRH injection, you can inseminate your cows 16 hours post GnRH without requirement of a observed heat. So as you can see here, Bessie, intervention A, day 3, there's no real follicular growth, so GnRH is not going to do anything. There's very little response. 7 days later, day 10, prostaglandin will work because there will be a responsive corpus luteum. We'll have luteolysis. Now, we would have gotten about 3 days, we would have gotten heat and ovulation, but because we now come with an intervention C, at day 12, 2 days after this PG, what will happen is the GnRH will push an LH surge and we'll have ovulation of the dominant follicle in about 16 to 24 hours. That's a new dominant follicle. Okay, Gladys, on day 7, it starts her intervention A. GnRH will cause the ovulation of the dominant follicle, which is there. And because it pushes LH and it takes about 24 hours, that means it'll take about 1 day for Gladys to ovulate initially, and therefore 1 day for her to restart her cycle. So when we come back on day 7 of intervention B, it's equivalent to about day 6, day 7 of her new cycle. Okay, she should undergo luteolysis because it's outside the refractory period, heat in 3 days. Again, we come back 2 days later and give GnRH. We should be able to tighten that window even further to 16 to 24 hours. Mary is on day 9. Okay, we give GnRH. There's no responsive dominant follicle here because this follicle has already undergone atresia. So, but what will happen is the GnRH will increase the lifespan of the corpus luteum. So this means that when we come back 7 days later, what will happen is we will have luteolysis and heat in 3 to 4 days. Subsequently, if we give the intervention C and we give the GnRH, again, we further tighten that window. So as you can see, all 3 cows, the ovulation of the dominant follicle occurs roughly 16 to 24 hours after the second GnRH injection. So it takes some thinking about. What one needs to do is go home and practice with cows at different stages of the cycle. Just start at cow on day 1, see what will happen, so that by the time the second injection comes around, what would you be presented with? And where would that cow be in a new cycle, or if it's continuing in the same cycle? Okay, and if the third injection, similarly. Okay, what we would like you to do now is go into the My E-Learning folder and complete the crossword puzzle, and hopefully that will be it for Oestrus synchronization, but you probably need to go back and read up as well. Thank you very much. Good day. Bye.